Alright, good morning, good day, happy weekend, and all that jazz. Welcome back to the African Crypto Warlord Show. Today we will be looking at Bitcoin USDT. And as some good other YouTubers have been keeping an eye on this, there's quadruple quant witching, and as one of my friends has beautifully observed, is we have a weekly and a 5-day printing tomorrow. So yeah, pivots are in pretty much coming tomorrow for longer term time frames. Currently what you're looking at here is a Laplace distribution cone on the 7-day. Alright, then this one is then this is the standard non-drift Laplace distribution. General idea is if it fails the means, fails the orange lines, it wants to go test either the top side or the bottom side. So in this case it tests the bottom side. Then naturally it wants to go test the top side, which is a very like $500,000 away. But now that only happens if you clear this line. Alright, in the longer term structure of Bitcoin and me trading these coins, because it hit the blue line, it's held above the blue line, it got ground out by this line. Technically what it's wanting to do is it's wanting to get itself all the way up here to $35,573. Okay, but it can only do that if it breaks above 29,171. This is just the natural play. If it can hold above this pink line, then this becomes the next range up into 76 and 35. If it fails this pink line, all right, we haven't come up and touched it, so it's a little bit hard to call, but seeing as we're starting to get a little bit of fade here, we're gonna have to do a deeper dive. Anyway, so if it fails here, it wants to go back down to the blue line. All right, this is just a range. Ideally, it would be very healthy if Bitcoin hits one of these ranges and then decides to continue what it wants to do. Otherwise, it's just going to float around in this range for a long time. Now, what can we see? We're going to go to the 21-day, and we literally just, on the left here, I'm just going to explain this quickly. If you're a new time viewer, please do like and subscribe, because this should hopefully be the most helpful information when it comes to charting bit shit. Now, everything on the left over here, this is purely for knowing when there's 0 volatility and 100% volatility and what the phases are of each look back length. Okay? Everything on the right here, this is more for sniping the direction of volatility. And what this is telling me is that is the volatility expanding to the upside on 21-day and volatility expanding to the downside. So we're going to have to shuffle down to the 14-day to get direction off of it. There has been a squish in volatility, but for the first time in a long time, for the first time ever, actually, volatility is going to start to contract. So now we're on the 14-day. 14-day has full expansion to the upside, sort of going to lose its legs, to be honest, because it's quite hard to keep a few of these red columns in a row. So I'd have to say, when is the next 14-day? That's coming now. So on the 25th of September, the 14-day needs to be above this JMA over here, which will print pretty much where we are now. If you can hold above there, you can get a mean reversion phase back up into the hell here at 33,000. We're going to also look for failure targets. Okay, so on the 7-day, what can we see? We can see, yes, it's going to print in a few hours time, but there's already, the trend is, this is a random pump technically, so it's going to look for a trend from here. Now we can see that volatility is pretty much all the way expanded through, and we've hit our first contraction phase whilst very positively correlated, which means we're fighting against negative drift. All these mean reversion phases that you see here coming through, maybe RSI is also pointing up now because this little big candle after a whole bunch of small ones, all of these phases coming through will only be allowed to be bullish once that little green line goes red. Alright, or if these columns go green and this PC drops to the bottom, that will be positive drift, which means it will be very low volatility pump. Well, how's that? It would be a very low volatility, causing price action to go up because it's not decaying in the same direction. 5 days, just like the 21 days. So we have 8 hours until that prints as well. We have a whole bunch of mean reversion going off over here, and it's technically in a sneaky pump mode. Alright, because it's expansion to the upside and there's positive drift. So it is in a sneaky bit of a pump mode. I think what we will do is we will wait for this 5-day to print, pull back, and during that pullback, if this is still in a pump signature, then we know the next 5 days could get quite bullish. If it's not, then it's just going to get reversed on itself. So this is the 3-day. 3 days also looking like it's topped out like the 7-day with regards to its 50-50. It sort of pumped itself into 50-50. As such, just going to find a hard time trying to look for continuation. Okay, you need really big moves. What's that? That was a 3-day. Sorry, let me just duplicate, put this thing on the 24-hour. So what can we see? Let me just do a quick rundown and put this thing back on the 24-hour. Come on, hurry up. All right, we can see 50-50. We can see expansion up. We can see 50-50. We can see sneaky pump. We can see 50-50. All right, so you break that down and you'll figure out that, okay, it's mainly bullish. All right, but you need lower term time frames in order to have continuation. So this is unfortunate for Bitcoin here on the 24-hour. Let me just put on Binance. So Binance, that's Poloniex. Poloniex is going to say this. Is Poloniex and Binance matching up? Let's see. So on Poloniex it says there's negative drift, which actually means this is going to get scalped to the downside. We have outliers here. It's the same sort of signature. Yeah. So we have negative drift, which technically means anything below the 24-hour, any pumps that come from below the 24-hour, expect lower highs, A, and B, expect your longs. If you're taking a long position, expect to scalp out of it quick, and then your short, so you can obviously hold for a longer time. So that's how I use positive and negative drift, just to know which trade is better to hold for an extra 30 seconds. All right, and that's all the difference in some occasions. All right, so contraction was positive correlated. 12-hour is looking for a seriously new trend. Unfortunately, PC is all the way up. So if you are bullish, you're going to have to call your friends up because there might be a serious dump coming in. All right, so on the 12-hour, we can see volatility is absolutely smoked. And if the next best phase would be for volatility to expand, so tomorrow on the 5-day and the 7-day print, in 8 hours time, volatility to expand, and this would technically want to turn itself down. Okay, so the next best phase is it's actually pumped itself into a dump here, into a very big dump. If it gets a continuation, let's see if we have any JMA around about here. We are closing below the JMA. Let's see if we can have some other outliers here. You can say failure at these means. There we go. Okay, so the upside trend for Bitcoin is pretty much over if you close below 26,400 and 420. All right, any closes below there across all exchanges, you can look for a dumperoo back down, as this will have on the 12-hour be ready to expand. Look for another pullback into the 25,700 region. Okay, so that's on 12-hour. Let's see if there's anything that's going to be backing that. So on the 6-hour, it is saying that it is sort of activating a dump mode because it's negative drift. DLP is down. I was teaching someone, or helping someone else understand the DLP. So DLP is mean reverting down. If it's below the JMA, we can expect continuation. We can expect continuation to this one, 26,127. All right, so a little bit bearish over here. If the bulls do want to really wreck these homies, let's give them some levels. Oh, you're not going to load me up. That's all right. We can just use this one and say any closes above 26,572. You will look for continuation to the upside. Now this becomes a range, I'd say, for the next 24 hours. If it can break up or downside of this range, it's currently breaking downside of this range, it's dumpy. If it can hold above the orange line, it's going to pump. Okay, so now onto the 3-day. Remember, these are just volatility signatures here on the left. All right, now we can start pulling up levels here. That's fine. Closes below 2652. We'll have this 3-hour mean revert through it. We'll like very deep. We have a little bit of bull div here, so any holds above there, you can look for a wick in to try keep DLP positive. So this is a bit 50-50 on the 3-hour. Let's go look at our 90-minute. 90-minute saying negative drift. So there might be a little bit of a dumperoo towards the end of the day. Not much is really saying otherwise at the current moment. I would say any closes above, I'll get more accurate there, but any closes above 26,557, maybe look for another push up into this yellow line. If we can hold this yellow line before daily close, that's pretty good, because there's a lower, that would be, put it this way, if Bitcoin closes above 26,593 by the end of the day, it's pretty bullish long term, because it's 1, 2, 3 daily means which are stacking on top of each other. Okay, so it's just a little, what is that, $50 move. keep this thing actually slowly bullish. All right, now what have we got here? We got 45-minute contraction. Yeah, this is dirty, mean reverting down. Okay, any closes below here, we will look for continuation to the downside. And 15 minutes, not really going to be too much help at the moment. It's sort of 50-50 here. So because it hasn't really triggered this 15-minute into dump mode, I'd say that the lower term time frames are trying to have a pullback. There we go. It's not looking too good there. Hidden bull dev. It's just going to get chopped up in this range. That's alright. Okay, I think I need to put on, I'll do this one, 6 hour. Turn this off. I need to put on some Laplace distribution cones maybe, and I'll save that for tomorrow's analysis. Okay, general idea, we are looking for a pullback, and if we were to use the higher term time frames, any failure from here, we're looking back down to 23970. We had a target with the reverse wave trends. Where were they? Here. Any closes below 26,420, we look for downside. Right, any closes above this, ideally can come down wicket and then try push. Then when it closes above 27,081, you can look for some good continuation to the upside. A lot of fighting will be here. As you can see, there's a lot of fighting trying to keep this thing inside the orange line to mean revert it down, in case no one else can really see that. A lot of wicks trying to keep this thing below the orange line, so that there is a lot of sellers. Alright, retail sellers are going to start panicking and closing below here. And when they do, that's going to form your trend that's going to push it to the downside. If you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. This is the African Crypto Warlord out.